Raiders and the Bolts from the Big Q.
Mike, Joe, and Jaws on the call, guys.
Chris, on tap tonight, a rivalry that dates back to 1960 in the days of the AFL. The Oakland Raiders and the San Diego Chargers on ESPN Sunday Night NFL. Raiders have a lineup of stars that few can match, but they haven't added up for the silver and black. The Raiders stand at 3-7, looking up from the bottom in the AFC West. For the San Diego Chargers, it's been a season of hard knocks, and at 4-6, they find themselves in a desperate state. Any run for the playoffs begins tonight, whether the Chargers are ready or not. The San Diego skyline as nightfall approaches, in just a few miles east, Qualcomm Stadium, where tonight the Oakland Raiders take on the San Diego Chargers. Good evening, everybody. I'm Mike Patrick. It's great to have you with us. At 4-6, the San Diego Chargers playoff chances are hanging by a thread. They are running out of time, and more importantly, they are running out of quarterbacks. For the second week in a row, third-teamer Craig Wheelahan gets the start, and that means the pressure falls on running back Gary Brown on the offensive line. In the first meeting against the Raiders, he gashed them for 181 yards on the ground. They'll need that kind of performance again tonight if they want to sweep the season series. My partner Joe Theismann joins me, and Joe, a repeat performance of that big rushing game wouldn't be unexpected considering the way the Raiders have played defense. They are awful. They're dead last in the NFL.
You know, Mike, I wouldn't be surprised at all. But let's face it, if the Raiders are going to win this game tonight, they're going to have to win it on offense. And why not? Jeff George, the #2 rated passer in the National Football League, is their quarterback. Tim Brown, a great receiver. Ricky Dudley, an emerging Pro Bowl young tight end. These are all parts of the weapons on that offense. But the big key tonight is going to be Napoleon Kaufman. He's the guy that's going to have to get it done for him. For the first 8 weeks of the season, Napoleon Kaufman was the premier home run threat in the National Football League. The last 2 weeks, just 30 yards on 25 carries. If the Raiders are going to win tonight, they're going to have to get production on offense from Napoleon Kaufman. As a matter of fact, he'll even help the defense out an awful lot.
All right, Joe, coming up, the Raiders and the Chargers will be back with the opening kickoff in 30 seconds. The Chargers have won the toss. They will receive, and Cole Ford has it teed up at the 30-yard line. Kenny Bynum and Aaron Craver will drop deep to receive the kick. There is Aaron Craver. He has only returned 2 so far this year, averaging 21 a return. And Kenny Bynum, the rookie out of South Carolina State, a 5th-round draft choice. We are underway at Qualcomm in San Diego. From the 4-yard line, Craver crosses the 20. Flag is down. Excuse me, Kenny Bynum, a flag down on the play. We'll check out the penalty, and it will go against San Diego.
Holding, number 88, on the return. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
For San Diego's offense, Craig Wheelahan starts the second game of his career. He has all the tools. Now he has to learn on the fly. Tony Martin, the Chargers' leading receiver, 5 touchdown catches, but that's a big drop-off from 14 last year when he made the Pro Bowl. Up front, an unsettled line. They were fortunate to pick up free agent Raleigh McKenzie, a veteran who is a great pass blocker. Wheelahan, a 6th-round draft choice back in 1995 out of Pacific. Gary Brown straight ahead and pounds his way up to near the 17-yard line. Defense has been a nightmare for the Raiders, but Russell Maryland has played well and played hard on every down. Linebacker Mike Morton is another hustle guy. Now a full-time starter in his 3rd season, he leads the team in tackles. In the secondary, free agent Eric Turner went to the Pro Bowl with the Ravens last year. He is an impact player. He is their 2nd leading tackler. Derek Russell, their top draft choice out of Southern Cal. Wheelahan to throw on 2nd and 7. Guns it to Martin. He's got a first down at the 30. Terry McDaniel there on the coverage, but you got a good idea that Wheelahan has the arm to play in this game.
Not only the arm, Mike, but the line does an excellent job of giving him a chance to step into this throw. Good job by the offensive line. Nice protection. You give your quarterback a chance to step up and throw it. Tony Martin probably works better in a zone than he does against press man-to-man. Wouldn't be surprised tonight if they get up on his face a little bit more.
Martin with his 39th catch of the year. He was the Chargers MVP a year ago. Back to the ground game, and Brown tripped up by Beekert as he picked up a couple.
You know, Mike, having a chance to sit with Craig Wheelahan, I really enjoyed his freshness, his enthusiasm, his excitement for the opportunity to get a chance to play. I asked him if he was worried or concerned. He said, no, I've been pointing to this moment all my life. He's a confident, relaxed, big-arm guy.
Had good numbers in his appearance last week. 2nd and 8. Brown off the right side. Cuts it back. And gets it out to the 38-yard line.
Oh, that's a nice job by Freddie Jones, the tight end, number 88. What happens is you got a play where Gary Brown will go to the right or to the left. In this instance, he comes to the right. Watch number 88. Lets the end go down, picks up the middle linebacker. In this case, it's Folston. And there it is on the outside. Watch this. Gary just hangs tough on his tail, takes it right outside, and gets his shoulder squared up on the field.
Raider defense 30th overall, 28th against the run. Last year, they were a top 10 defense, and San Diego certainly took advantage of them in the opening game when these two teams met earlier up in the Bay Area. We have a timeout on the field. Early first quarter, there is no score. It is a 3rd and 2 for the Chargers from their own 38-yard line. Brown the single setback. And Gary Brown will get the ball, tries to cut it back. Good job on the outside by James Folston, who's starting for the injured Rob Fredrickson. He turned the play back inside.
It's the same play they tried to run a few plays ago. This time, Folston was up to the task.
Loss of a yard.
Anytime you get penetration like that by the linemen, it creates blocking problems for the offensive line.
Darren Bennett, 3rd in the conference in punting with a fine average, nearly 46 yards. And Desmond Howard, who signed for 4 years, $6 million, and has not produced very much as a punt returner. 8.8 a return. Bennett sky high, and Howard catches it on the fly and takes it out of bounds to the 28. A punt of 35 yards, a return of 1. Timeout here in San Diego. 0-0. Chargers and the Raiders. 26 to go first quarter. Raiders and Chargers are scoreless. The Chargers down to their 3rd quarterback, Stan Humphries, on the sideline, out for at least another month because of concussions. Jim Everett, his backup, will have elbow surgery later in the week. Play action by Jeff George. Deep down the middle for Jet, and he couldn't get there. Just overthrown at the 30. He had Paul Bradford beaten. For the Raider offense, Jeff George has been everything they hoped and more. 20 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions. His rating #2 in the NFL. Perennial All-Pro Tim Brown having another glittering season. He entered the weekend leading the league with 955 receiving yards. He's been over 1,000 the last 4 years. On the offensive line, Steve Wisniewski has a nasty reputation for doing anything it takes. He has been to 6 Pro Bowls. 2nd and 10, Oakland. George with time underneath to Tim Brown. Got away from Seau and dives for the first down, sticks.
That is complete to number 81, Tim Brown.
Talked to Jeff George yesterday, and he said that we want to get Tim Brown involved early in this game. We have not the last two, and we feel like it upsets the rhythm of our offense. Here they bring him in motion. Little crossing pattern goes underneath the linebackers. Jeff puts a nice touch throw on it, and then Tim Brown makes the move. Those passes were dropped the last two times these teams played. Obviously, it's going to be a different story tonight for Tim.
Tim Brown refused to criticize the Raider defense. He said, if we have to score 50 to win, then that's our job. George for Brown again. This one's incomplete, covered by Terrence Shaw. San Diego's defense has played rather well. John Perrella for the injured Ruben Davis leads the front four with 3.5 sacks. All-World Junior Seau has half a dozen sacks. That's just one off his career high. And 57 tackles despite being hampered by injuries. The brightest star in the secondary, Rodney Harrison, the Chargers' leading tackler and one of the game's most wicked hitters. 3 straight pass plays to open the offense for the Raiders. Here comes the blitz. Junior right in the face of Jeff George. Can't get there, and he throws it away. He was not outside the tackle box, and that is going to be, I believe, intentional grounding. You've got to be outside the tackles.
Remember, not only outside the tackles, but that box runs all the way back to the goal line.
Intentional grounding. Number 3 the offense. Well, we put it play. It's down. Loss it down.
Big play by Junior Seau. Just runs right up the middle. Harvey Williams doesn't have a chance. He swats once, he swats twice, and then from the outside, John Perrella comes in and manages to make Jeff throw the ball away. There you see Harvey Williams doesn't stand a chance. Jeff wants to throw it quick. Regroups, does a good job of really making Junior miss, but he's still in the pocket. Remember, as long as he backed up straight, he has to try and get out of the pocket to throw it away.
3rd and 32. George airs one out. Nobody back there but the Raiders, and Harrison nearly had the interception.
Mike, they decided they wanted to come out and test Paul Bradford, number 25. They did on the first play, missed the opportunity. They went again trying to get the ball deeper to Tim Brown, missed the opportunity. This one was a, well, I'll throw it and make it look like a punt type of a situation. So far, the Charger defense putting a lot of pressure on Jeff George with just their front four and an occasional blitz.
They've tested everybody on the first 5 plays. Arago's 5th in the conference, will punt to Metcalf. Nice high floater. Metcalf from the 34. Across the 40 to the 46, maybe the 47-yard line. Lorenzo Lynch made the tackle on special teams for the Raiders. Junior Seau, no matter what the record, the intensity is always there. An aerial view of NFL action between the Raiders and the Chargers tonight. A dedicated crew of 15 traveling with the blimp. Snoopy 2 does not require a home base, constantly on the road, 60,000 miles a year. Wheelahan throws incomplete, intended for Jones.
Pass incomplete, intended for Charlie Jones.
Wheelahan does a good job of setting.
Number 36, Terry McDaniel.
And he has to be accurate. Kevin Gilbride, when he sat down with us and said, listen, we're not going to have any mysteries as to where the football is going to go because of the way the Raiders play on defense. We know they're going to be in man-to-man coverage. Craig Wheelahan's just going to have to be accurate with his throw.
And he will get his opportunities against Albert Lewis and Terry McDaniel. Play action by Wheelahan. That one's tipped at the line and incomplete. Darrell Russell, the rookie out of USC, got his hands on it.
You know, Mike, that's the kind of hustle that the Raiders need. They need individuals with all this great talent on defense. They need these great talented individuals to jump up and make a play. That time, Tony Martin was wide open. You see him make up? He could have been blocked by could have been blocked by Aaron Craver, but he decides to jump up and make a play. They need more than that just once or twice a game.
Russell admitted it's been a tough transition for him because he was a defensive tackle in college. Now they're asking him to play end here. Techniques are very different. Here comes the blitz. Wheelahan for Jones. He beat Albert Lewis and got to the 16. A gain of 37 yards.
And you know who made that play? Who made that play was the back in the backfield. What a terrific job by Terrell Fletcher, number 41. Watch the lower left part of your screen. Here comes Fredrickson up the middle. There's Fletcher, throws the block. Wheelahan just has enough time to make the throw. Charlie Jones against Albert Lewis. Perfect throw down the chimney over the top.
Wheelahan, they say nothing's going to bother him. He is all California, just loves the opportunity. From the 16, Brown through a crease to the 11. It's a gain of 5. Vaughn Parker and Cucuzzo on the left side. He followed them.
Chargers have struggled in the red area. I think a little bit of that has to do with the inconsistency at quarterback. You take a look, they're worst in the NFL inside the 20 and touchdown score, just 6. But I think that the lack of continuity really affects the red area almost, really more than anywhere on the field.
Especially when you're down to your third quarterback. 2nd and 5. Brown again. Spins off a hit by Folston and Beaker.
Gary Brown, an entirely different football player than the guy that played for the Houston Oilers and ballooned up to 270 pounds. If you see him right now, you wouldn't believe that he was 50 pounds heavier than he is right now.
To eating at least 8 Philly cheesesteaks on some occasions a day. I mean, I like Philly cheesesteaks, but 8?
That's a little much. Right?
3rd and 3. Empty backfield for Wheelahan. Tipped again at the line of scrimmage and incomplete. Here comes the field goal team.
Lance Johnstone, who the Raiders have really missed from the end position, makes a play here. Times his jump, manages to hit him in the elbow. He's a big guy. He's 6'4", only weighs about 240. But they've missed his athletic ability on that defensive line to make plays.
Really been hampered by an ankle injury all year. And Greg Davis, who was picked up after John Carney pulled a knee ligament, has kicked brilliantly for the club. Carney this week placed on IR. That one's blocked. The Raiders have the football. Orlando Truitt picked it off in midair. To the delight of special teams coach Rusty Tillman.
Frank Novak, the Chargers special teams coach, not thrilled with that one.
The Raiders defense makes some play. We'll be back in a moment. That's credit for the block on the field goal. These are supposed to be routine, but this was a heck of a play.
Mike, you know, Russell Maryland gets credit, but watch Darrell Russell right here. He's going to push the pile back, and then Russell Maryland's going to get his hands up and make the block. Watch number 96. 96 creates the movement. 67 comes in and gets his hands up. That's an assist to Darrell Russell.
So the Raiders take over at the 23. George, who has thrown on nearly every down, in fact, every down, throws this one incomplete. They've had 6 offensive plays, 6 passes.
Well, last 2 games, they felt like they were too conservative. You can go to the other extreme. I got to believe right now on this particular play, Ray Perkins, the offensive coordinator, is going to call a running play. It'll settle down the offense. It'll get them some positive yards and give them a chance to convert a relatively shorter 3rd down.
Napoleon Kaufman is the running back. The last 2 games, he's really been shut down, a total of 30 yards. Kaufman has the ball and a 2-yard loss.
You know what? I don't care. It's the right call at this juncture. You just don't want to keep throwing and missing and throwing and missing. Now you're in a 3rd down and 12, better than the 3rd and 38 they had last time.
That's right. It's a good point.
Now you get to your 3rd down and long passing offense. Joe Bugel has lived a nightmare this year. A football team with all this talent, nobody has the answers for their record.
Joe Pascal, excuse me, the defensive coordinator for the San Diego Chargers. They have really played pretty well this year. Overall, 13th in the NFL in defense.
Tommy Jackson for filling in for me tomorrow night on Prime Monday.
That's right. We're on the West Coast. Makes it a little tougher for you to get back.
Tougher to get back there.
This is Paul Bradford, the rookie out of Portland State. He made a big play last week against Seattle. He also gave up the winning touchdown pass, and they will be looking in his direction. Right now he's out on jet. George with time. Tipped. Intercepted. Picked up by Greg Jackson. To the 10, 5, touchdown. Terrence Shaw got a hand on it. It was intended for Tim Brown, but Jackson gets his second interception of the season.
I believe Jeff George just locked up on Tim Brown. He said, this is the guy I want to work to. I'm going to you no matter what. They read his eyes, and Shaw got his hands in, goes up. They wind up with 6.
It is only the 7th interception off of Jeff George this year as opposed to 20 touchdown passes. Davis for the point after. And the San Diego defense puts the Chargers on the board.
Tim Brown is in the slot. Now what he's doing, he's working against Shaw, Terrence Shaw, number 29. Shaw hangs back. Now Brown comes out of his break. The ball should have been there, but it's late. Yeah, he grabs him a little bit, but they play that way at this level. Greg Jackson winds up with the ball in the air. You get a lot of people around the football, Mike. Good things are going to happen defensively. Terrific play by Shaw. Jackson comes in, picks it off, and runs it in for 6.
That secondary playing without Dwayne Harper, their best cover guy. That's why Bradford is in there. But Terrence Shaw, the other corner, who has played very well, makes the big play. And Tim Brown really upset. He wanted the interference call.
And you know something? He has a right to complain. He did get grabbed a little bit, but you can't count on them calling in that kind of situation. You just got to play.
Davis will kick it off. And the crowd is rocking here in San Diego. Hall and Howard are deep. Desmond Howard, 20th in kick returns, 20th in punt returns. Short kick from the 12. And he's cut down at the 25. Aaron Craver with the tackle. ESPN presents the draft from start to finish.
It's one draft I don't have to do.
That's right.
Don't know why.
Don't worry, the other one will be coming up soon enough.
Right.
And the Chargers want a timeout. They have already used 2 with 6:57 to go in the first quarter.
Now, the problem they had was Marco Coleman. Talk to.
The Raiders have run the ball once for -2 yards. Every other play has been a pass. And they'll throw again. George comes this one to Dudley. Harrison takes him out of bounds near midfield. Ricky Dudley with his 35th catch, and he's averaging almost 18 yards a grab.
You cannot allow Ricky Dudley to get off the line of scrimmage clean and free. Lou Bush in the last game did not let it happen. Number 56, Pat Sapp, is going to have to cover him. This time he just comes off the line clean. Terrific hands. This is a Pro Bowl tight end. He's having that kind of a season. His 35th catch this year.
And terrific hands is something you couldn't say from last year because he dropped a lot of balls as a rookie.
Vast improvement.
Napoleon Kaufman. Great cut to the outside. Another great cut. Kaufman pushed out of bounds inside the 10. Paul Bradford saved the touchdown. A gain of 41.
Mike, the difference in Napoleon Kaufman this week and the past 2 weeks is the offense the last 2 weeks has directed him to an area of the line. Now he wants to be able to run with a little more freedom. You see him start to the left. He sees the defense come this way. Now he comes back. There are few people on that San Diego Charger defense that have the speed to match him. Number 63, Barrett Robbins, does a good job of sliding John Perella out, and Napoleon cuts it outside.
First down, Raiders. Kaufman to about the 8. He says, I go where my eyes tell me to go, not necessarily the hole that they planned out.
I compare him to Barry Sanders in so much that he's a diminutive back with great quickness and great eyes and likes to run to daylight. You stick somebody in the backfield with him like a fullback, it clutters his vision and really makes him a less effective back. The way the Raiders are using him in the single back position is effective for him.
And this is exactly the way Barry Sanders runs. A lot of negative runs because he dances around, but he gets all the big plays as well, and he's doing even better than Barry Sanders. George in the flat. Harvey Williams will walk in for the touchdown.
That is taking advantage of new people at the linebacker position in the Charger defense. Patrick Sapp, number 56, was supposed to come off and cover Williams in the flat. He did not. Obvious, wide open touchdown pass.
And Patrick Sapp was a linebacker for 1 year in college. He was a quarterback at Clemson. Cole Ford to tie it. And we are even at 7. There is a marker down.
Extra point try is good. There is a penalty flag on the field.
First receiving touchdown of the year for Harvey Williams. Indication is it is against San Diego.
Offside. Left tackle on the defense. 5 yards will be assessed on the kickoff. The point is good.
Dale Hammer, one of the really good refs in the game. Number 56 is Patrick Sapp. He should be right over here, right there. He's got Ricky Dudley. What happens is Dudley releases. He's supposed to come out here and jump anybody in the flat, but he doesn't. He slides inside. Now he gets caught up with Tim Brown. You got 3 people on Tim Brown, and Patrick Sapp is just lost in space. Jeff George sees it, lays it out into the flat to Harvey Williams. Harvey turns around looking for somebody, but there's nobody there.
It's always a good idea to cover Tim Brown, but 3 guys might be a little excessive.
You know, you get a lot of traffic down there. You get a lot of people crossing, and if you're a linebacker who's not used to it, you lose your responsibilities of the areas of responsibility. He did that time.
Junior Seau trying to get the troops organized for the next possession.
Junior's basically saying, hey, look, don't worry about it, okay? We crossed up, we screwed up on defense. Don't worry about it. We can get it back. Harvey Williams played just about everything for the Raiders on offense.
After the 5-yard penalty for the extra point infraction, they will keep it in the end zone. 2 yards deep, and Kenny Bynum will let the club take it out at the 20.
In the end zone for a touchback. First and 10.
Kevin Gilbride wildly successful in Jacksonville as the offensive coordinator of that sparkling offense.
Of course, Houston before that. Everybody thought Kevin Gilbride, boy, all he can run is to run and shoot. He has a vast knowledge of the game on offense, does a terrific job with quarterbacks, and gives the quarterback an opportunity to go someplace with the football in a hurry if he has to.
And their best days are ahead of them. It is a very difficult offense to absorb. It takes time. Brown had a hole up the middle, but it closes quickly. They'll gain maybe 2.
Carrier number 33, Terry Brown. A gain of 2. Stop by number 91.
Chester McLaughlin is one of those guys that has to play. You make a big circle because he's big. He's on Isaac Davis. He gets the edge here. Comes off. Isaac can't move him. He's right in the hole. If you've got an offensive lineman standing in the hole, as a defensive player, you've done your job. It's a stalemate.
Terrell Fletcher checks in number 41 for San Diego on offense. Fletcher gets the carry, slips one tackle, dives to the 27. He got away from James Colston, who had him at the line of scrimmage.
Raiders that time had a lot of people at the line of scrimmage, both outside receivers pressed. Going to challenge Wheelahan. Going to challenge him to throw the ball down the field and make good throws.
6 yards on the carry.
McLaughlin getting a breather on 3rd and 3.
Why?
Good question.
Why is he standing? He's one of the biggest guys on the football field. He's standing on the sidelines.
Wheelahan throws sideline, knocked away, intended for Martin, and a great job by McDaniel. The 10-year veteran out of Tennessee right there on the out.
You know, Mike, it was interesting what Albert Lewis said about Tony Martin last night. He said, against us, Tony Martin is going to have to make great catches. We know how good he is when people aren't close to him, but we're going to make him make great catches with people around him. So far, the Raiders have the edge.
Darren Bennett, who did not get off a good kick the first time, punting for Desmond Howard. Averaged 15-1 a year ago for Green Bay. Again, not a good punt. There is a marker down, and this one takes a big bounce for the Raiders. And down near the 45-yard line, it's a punt of only 26. Now we'll check the penalty. Bennett, the Australian rules football player.
It's going to be illegal procedure against the Chargers.
I think they'd take the 26-yard punt.
I think so, too.
Illegal formation on the offense. The left tackle, and he's declined. First down.
Frank Novak, the special teams coach of the Chargers. Hey, having a guy like Eric Metcalf, you got to lay in bed at night and just dream up ways to give him a little crease to make plays for you.
Raiders with excellent field position. They'll start from their own 47. 3 minutes, 17 seconds to go first quarter. Harvey Williams sets up on a wing. Kaufman will go in that direction. Nice tackle by Sayal. Oh, what a pretty play. James Burgess.
James Burgess is a guy that's going to have to fill in. Not a big guy, only 5'11", 230. He's playing the outside position where Junior Seau usually would play. But with Kurt Gavea having had neck surgery, Junior's moved to the inside. And then, to change it up completely, you've got Patrick Sapp playing the other linebacker for Lou Bush. So this is a brand new linebacking core to face the Raiders, and a different one than the last time they played.
2nd and 10. Comes the blitz. George unloads in a hurry. It's incomplete. Just threw it away. Patrick Sapp was coming hard.
As intended for number 22, Harvey Williams.
Of course, you want to attack inexperienced people. Sayal's the one guy you don't attack. Burgess, 3 career tackles. Sapp, the former quarterback, only has 10. Where do you go, Mr. Quarterback?
Well, I'll tell you, I'd probably run left at Burgess. I wouldn't want to run 924 in the middle for Junior. And keep in mind, that's from an outside linebacker position, which means a lot of times people are running away from him. He likes the middle.
3rd and 10. And now Jeff George will use another timeout as the play clock was winding down. 3rd and 10 for the Raiders. 2:27 to go in the quarter. They're at their own 47. George with plenty of time. Jet at the sideline. Out of bounds. Tried to drag the toes. Paul Bradford on the coverage.
Ron Winter, the line judge, number 82, comes up and makes the call. Watch his toes. Right foot's down. No, left toe just out of bounds. Excellent call by the official. Right foot, Left one drags. Oh, I don't know whether maybe a cleat got in, but that toe is out of bounds. That's what the official saw.
So the Raiders squandered good field position. They'll have to kick it away to Metcalf, who waits at his 10. Well, it goes out of Stephen F. Austin. Very high, and Metcalf signals fair catch, makes it at the 12. A 40-yard punt, no return. Let's check in with Ron Jaworski.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. To play cornerback in this league, you have to have a good technique and know where your help is. Paul Bradford so far is doing a good job of that. As you see right here, what he's going to do is take an outside technique as James Seth comes off the line. He's playing his inside help, but all of a sudden the safety disappears. You see Dumas right there. He's expecting help. We look at the end zone. There's Harrison. He expected help to the inside and didn't get help on that play. Fortunately, Jeff George missed the throw. Back to you, Mike.
Jaws, if Jet gets a half a step on you, he is gone. The man with world-class speed.
And I don't think they're done testing Paul Bradford yet.
No, I think this will be a night-long exam. Flag is down.
Per the snap. False start. Number 75 of the offense. 5 yards. Still first down.
I think you'll see Jeff George attack him a little bit more, Mike.
It's interesting to watch those rookies, Ron, as their confidence grows when they do play well. First and 15 after the penalty. Brown on the quick hitter. Gets it back near the original line of scrimmage before Greg Beaker makes the tackle.
You know, by using two tight ends, Mike, you force the defense to become balanced, and it helps a young quarterback read where support is coming from. Because that's what you really want to do. You want to run away from run support. If the safety stays in the middle and a strong safety comes up on another side, you want to run away from where the strong safety is. What Kevin Gilbride is doing is making it easier for Wheelahan to read the defenses and run away from the support.
Second and 11. Craver in as a blocking back for Brown. And Wheelahan will use the Chargers' third timeout with 1:36 to go in the first quarter.
Only thing good about that, he's got nothing left now. Now he's got to play football. Now you can't go back on it.
Boy, and the Raiders only have one left. This could be an interesting 2-minute drill at the end of
the huddle and isn't sure what he wants to say. Then you run out of time, and I think that's been the bigger problem.
Wheelahan dumps it complete to Martin. Breaks a tackle. 40, pushed out of bounds by Trent. Terry McDaniel did not make the initial stop, and Tony Martin will gain 31 yards.
We've said that the Raiders wanted to get up in the face of Tony Martin. There he is. He does a good job. Now what they do, he makes the initial run. Now he's running away from Terry McDaniel. If he gets a step on him, then he's going to find himself some space and be able to make a play. Does a good job for Wheelahan, giving him a target to throw to.
Tony Martin made the Pro Bowl a year ago. 14 touchdown catches on the year. Brown cut down as he crossed the 40 and got back to the original line of scrimmage. Russell Maryland out of the University of Miami, the free agent signed away from Dallas in '96.
Mike, this is the way you build up a rushing offense, is you have to be able to convert third downs. You got to get yourself another set and another set. You can run a couple of them. Convert the third down, you start to wear down a defense after a while.
And the Raiders defense has been on the field an awful lot this year. Wheelahan bobbles the snap from center, then it's knocked away by Maryland. Loose football. The Raiders have it at the 18-yard line. It's covered by Anthony Smith. The fourth fumble in 2 games for Wheelahan. He has lost 2. And the Raiders, I think, may have gotten a break on that play because Brian Still was in the lineup and he was going toward the line of scrimmage. He was illegally in motion and nobody saw it.
Russell Maryland does a terrific job on Isaac Davis, number 67. He just pushes him back and then swims past him. Wheelahan picks it up. Is not conscious of where Maryland is. Trying to make a play. He picks up, does a good job there at gaining control, but never looks where the pressure is coming from. He's got to feel that.
Big break for the Raiders. They take over at the 17. Kaufman in motion. Marco Coleman after George throws on the run out of bounds. Kaufman caught it at the 1 but came down on the white.
Everybody talks about Jeff George being a pocket passer. Jeff is a very active passer. He always keeps his feet moving. You very seldom see him set, and when he does, it will be to throw the ball. Here he shows some nice mobility to escape the rush and make a play just by getting rid of the ball.
Russell Maryland with a couple of big plays so far in this game. His defensive unit very frustrated for the Raiders. They know they have a lot of talent. They know they've not played as well as they should have. Seau shows blitz, and Jeff George uses his last time.
Now we're even. Now they have to play the second quarter without timeouts.
That is not very optimistic from your owner.
No, it is not. And the Raiders have always had a tradition of finding ways to win, not finding ways to lose, and that's been what they've been doing this year.
2nd and 10. Crowd on its feet here in San Diego. George with time underneath to Tim Brown, who gets to the 8, about a yard shy of a first down, where Patrick Sapp made the tackle.
Pass complete to number 81 to Tim Brown.
That's the end of the first quarter here in San Diego. It's the Raiders 7 and the Chargers 7. We start the second quarter. It is a 3rd and 1 at the Charger 8-yard line for the Raiders. Harvey Williams is the setback. Williams on the toss behind Harlow, and he's got the first down inside the 5.
Harvey Williams started here, came as a running back, has played tight end most of the year, really, for the Raiders, but been used in a lot of different positions. They bring Tim Brown in motion to collapse the defense, and they just pitch it out to him. Good job by Pat Harlow getting around the corner and being a lead blocker.
Harvey Williams was the 1,000-yard back 2 years ago. 1st and goal, Oakland. Williams and Kaufman down there together. George looking toward Dudley, couldn't hold it. Or did he? They're going to say it's down at the 1-foot line, but there's a marker down as well. And it will go against the Raiders.
Basically, they're going to say he did not have possession in the end zone.
The ruling was a completed catch. However, number 91, 71, the offense, 10 yards, still first down.
71 is Lester Holmes called for the penalty. The Chargers were arguing that the ball hit the ground.
George makes the throw. Dudley doesn't come back to the ball. That's his first mistake. It bounces off his right shoulder. Now, as it comes down, does he have possession? No, it's on the ground. It actually did hit the ground. And you'll see that his legs will block the official from seeing it. Watch his legs. The official cannot see what happens there. It looks like it's laying on his thigh, but it's not.
The penalty moves it back to the 14-yard line. Still 1st and goal. George with time, throws in the flat. Williams got the ball. Harvey Williams wanted to make a cut to get the touchdown. He forgot the football.
He did everything right to keep the play alive. He got out into the flat. Patrick Sapp is on him. Jeff George moves around to keep the play alive. Harvey Williams now turns up the field. What he does is he sees the safety coming, He wants to try and get in the end zone and just loses focus on the ball. Oh, what else? What else can happen to the Raiders?
Second and goal from the 14. They come with a blitz. George throws over the middle, tipped away, and a flag is down. Harrison got a hand on it. Knocked it away from Ricky Dudley. Now let's check the marker.
Question is, was it tipped at the line of scrimmage? If it was, there should be no pass interference.
Dale Hamer getting his crew together.
Two fouls on a play. Illegal hands to the face. Number 67 for the offense. Pass interference on the defense. He's offset. Repeat second down.
There is no 67. There is a 76. That would be the left guard, Steve Wisniewski.
Steve Wisniewski is number 76. Junior Seau is going to come on the blitz. And Mike, you said it earlier. Wiz will do anything to stop somebody. Seau's up on the gap. Now he slides over to the other side where Wisniewski is.
I never saw him touch his face mask.
It was quick, whatever it was.
Offsetting penalty. Second and goal from the 14 all over again. With another blitz. Pass complete over the middle. Jet. Brought down at the 7. Harrison makes the stop.
A tackle by number 37, Rodney.
This has really been a bizarre game so far.
It has no rhythm. I don't know how Ray Perkins has a chance to call this thing on offense for the Raiders. It's as choppy as anything I've ever seen. I think the Raiders have to start running the football to find some kind of rhythm. You know, Jeff George throwing the ball 70 times in a game is not going to be the answer. I don't care how much you're paying or how good he is.
Third and goal from the 6. Another blitz. For Dudley, for Jet, incomplete, but there's another flag down. Bradford with the coverage.
They're going to call Paul Bradford for pass interference.
Pass interference on a defense. Number 25 in the end zone. I rule the ball is put in play on the 1-yard line. First down.
Bradford's locked up on Jet. He's off him 5 yards. The ball's in the air. He's looking for the ball. Well, I don't. You know, there's the contact, but who's pushing who, Mike? Who's pushing who?
That's not much.
I think the guys, they ought to tuck the flags a little bit deeper in and let the guys play a little football tonight.
First and goal for the Raiders. Spot the ball at the 1. Harvey Williams, touchdown. Seau blitzed and Harvey Williams went right through the hole.
Harvey Williams, 1 yard. Oakland, touchdown.
Junior is a guy who will guess to a degree. He'll try and find a hole. He'll guess with you. He thinks the ball's coming this way. It actually is. But Chad Leavitt, number 31, does a nice job of meeting him in the hole. Harvey Williams runs off the block and winds up in the end zone.
Cole Ford is on for the point after. And knocks it through. So with 12 minutes and 48 seconds to go in the first half, the Raiders have taken a 14-7 lead over the San Diego Chargers. 48 to go in the first half from Qualcomm Stadium here in San Diego. The Chargers preparing to kick off or receive the kickoff from Cole Ford. Bynum from the 10. Breaks the tackle, gets to the 29, lost the ball late. There's a flag down. That will be an illegal block in the back right in front of the official. Lorenzo Lynch made the tackle for the Raiders.
A penalty flag on the field.
First time these teams met, Gary Brown had a career-high 181 yards. What was fascinating about it, Joe, was basically one play over and over.
It really was, Mike. It's called 36 and 37G, the odd number 37 being to the left. Gary Brown, number 33, will read the block of Frank Hartley, the tight end, number 89. If he blocks the guy, the defensive end inside, he runs outside. If he blocks him outside, he runs inside. It's an option run by the back. As Hartley starts to come off the line, the play is run. He takes him inside. Gary Brown just takes it outside. That's our ESPN pre-play for you.
And they just wore him out with that in the first game. 181 yards.
You'll see a lot of that out of their one-back set. They allow Wheelahan to pick which side he wants to go to. Really simple. Just follow the block of the tight end.
Brown, it's fascinating. He gets $1 million bonus if he gets to 1,000 yards. He came into this game with 730. He'd love to run it about 50 times a game.
Find him in.
Brown on the toss, behind Crater, cuts it back. Gary Brown with his best run of the night. He's drilled as he got across the 30 to the 31. Aaron Turner just flattened him with his shoulder. But that's 10 carries for 40 yards from Brown.
Mike, that's in large part good execution by the offensive line, but a lousy job by Mike Morton, number 50. What's going to happen is Morton and both the ends are going to go outside. You're going to see him cut it up. Morton should be in here making the play. He stretches it. Morton runs outside. Nobody blocks him. He just runs outside with the fullback. Good read by Gary Brown.
Wheelahan couldn't find the short receiver, then pumps and goes down. He's got it complete to Jones. Jones at the 30 to 27-yard line. That's a great play by Wheelahan. The short set, can't hit the first pattern, and then Jones goes deep.
Not only is that a good job, Mike, but he comes all the way from left, all the way back over the right. It's one thing to work from middle either way. This time they give him a good job of protecting him. Good job by the offensive line. Short set, McLaughlin gets shoved down. Good pickup by Gary Brown. He has time to come back. Nice air under the ball. Well thrown to Charlie Jones. Charlie Jones is the little guy, I think, who can have success against press corners. And so far, he's proven it tonight.
The gain of 42. Back to the ground game, and a flag is down just before the tackle, back in the area where it's normally holding. As Brown got to the 20-yard line, and this will come back. Fletcher. Just a couple and no more. Anthony Smith. And now some pushing and shoving after the play.
There's no love lost between these two football teams. This is a full-blown rivalry.
Well, find a team that has any love lost between them and the Raiders.
Not many. Not many. And I'll tell you a guy that's got to be careful, and he's cost his team critically in situations, is Lorenzo Lynch, number 43. He can't be out there grabbing on people and getting a 15-yard personal foul penalty. It's one thing to be a great football player, a good football player. It's another thing to make stupid mistakes.
2nd and 15 for San Diego. They're down by a touchdown. Wheelahan with time, batted down at the line of scrimmage. And it looked like Anthony Smith was the guy who got the hands up.
That's the third tip pass tonight.
And now Marker comes down late after the play. There can't be any interference because the ball was batted to the line.
It's going to be a personal foul against Terrell Fletcher, number 41.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 41 of the offense. Taunting. 15 yards.
2nd and 3rd down.
Taunting. Normally it would be a Raider penalty. Here's one where Fletcher's getting dragged into this thing. He's on the ground. And there you see Lance Johnstone throws his legs away, and Fletcher throws the ball. Just flat stupid. It's stupid.
Yep, it is. And it's always the second guy, too.
That's what's known as losing your cool. That's all it is.
7 flags already against the Chargers, 58 yards. This one backs them all the way up to their own 47-yard line. So when they had great field position, there's Alex Spanos on the left, Bobby Beathard, the general manager, on the right. Mr. Spanos, of course, the owner. And they have not cared for this sequence. It's 3rd and 30. 3-man rush. Wheelahan after completion. Got it to the 27-yard line to Eric Metcalf. This will at least give him a shot at a field goal.
Good job by the offensive line of the Chargers, giving Wheelahan a chance to make a play. I do not agree with the defensive call. It's 3rd down and 30. You've got him out of field goal position. You drop 8 into coverage. You're going to give the quarterback all the time in the world to find a hole. That's a bad call on defense.
Greg Davis, who is 14 out of 17, will try one from 45 yards. And he's got it. The Chargers get a field goal and cut the lead to 4 with 9:10 to go in the first half. Back in a moment. To place. And it's full tonight as the Chargers try to get back on the winning track and keep their playoff hopes alive. There's Desmond Howard. For the Raiders, it's play as hard as you can and think about next year. Howard from the 6. Across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Good return that time before James Burgess makes the tackle. Junior Seau in the defense trying to shut down the Raiders. We'll be back after this. Tonight, getting shots over Qualcomm Stadium. Made his first appearance on Sunday Night Football 10 years ago. Raiders back to the offense. Kaufman, who broke loose for one big one earlier in the game, gets it to the 36.
And so did we. Oh, you were here year before.
I'm 11, you're 10.
I'm 10. Me and Snoop, we came here the same time.
By number 37, Rodney Harrison.
I like that call on offense there, Mike. I mean, the Raiders have just got to settle this thing down now. Now this thing should settle down to a football game with a little bit of rhythm. I think running the football is a good way to do it, especially when you have an explosive back like Napoleon Kaufman.
2nd and 7. George with a short set to Jet. He slashes his way to the 45-yard line. Michael Dumas made the tackle.
What you saw there was vintage Jeff George. He gives a little bit of a play action fake, and then he sets himself so quickly, and the ball comes out with what I believe the quickest release in football, only marveled and matched by Dan Marino's. Little play action fake. Now watch this thing come out. Right now, in a heartbeat, it's coming out. And it's not a hard, heavy ball. It comes out with a lot of pace, but it's easy to catch.
George to throw on 1st down. Throws into double coverage as the Chargers did a great job that time on Jets. NFL Countdown every Sunday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern. Join the distinguished faculty of Bristol University for the best pregame show in the NFL. Then at 7 p.m., it's all the highlights on prime time. Then at 8, it's the battle for first in the NFC East as the Giants take on the Redskins. It'll be retro Sunday night, won't it? Giants and the Redskins for first place. The toss to Kaufman. Harrison up quickly from the safety. He got him after Norman Hand ruined the timing of the play.
Number 37, Rodney Harrison. Comes right on up, flying around the corner. He's doing a good job of chasing. Hand comes up, makes the play, and Harrison finishes him off.
Rodney Harrison idolized Ronnie Lott and has tried to pattern his play after him. That's as good a role model as you could find.
One of the greatest safeties ever to play the game.
3rd and 11. George changing the play. Here comes the blitz. Unloads in a hurry. Jet has it at the 24. Right in front of Paul Bradford.
Unbelievable play. Boy, Jeff George can make so many different throws from so many different positions with his body. Junior Seau and a whole lot of friends is coming from the outside right side. Seau just comes running free. Ricky Dudley doesn't stand a chance of making a play on him. George just goes back. Marco Coleman was already there. Jet doing a real good job of coming back and making a play on the ball. James Jett is having himself one heck of a year.
Another first down for the Raiders. Kaufman on the toss sweep. Cuts it back. Still on his feet. Harrison pushed him out of bounds at the 10. He already has more rushing yards tonight than he did the previous 2 weeks.
Joe Pascal, the defensive coordinator, said we have to maintain our lanes and we have to maintain our pursuit lanes. Junior Seau is in pursuit. Remember, he's the middle linebacker now. He thinks he has a shot at him. He lunges, gets nothing but air. Kaufman keeps his feet coming back the other way. Junior has no shot at him. And here comes Sapp. He gets nothing but air. Gives you an idea just how fast the little guy is.
Tim Hall, number 45, in at running back on 1st and goal, along with Harvey Williams. George under pressure and just throws it away.
Pass intended for number 22, Harvey Williams, incomplete.
58 yards tonight. He had a grand total of 30 in the last 2 ball games.
On 25 carries.
Yeah.
That's the amazing thing. But this, a lot of these yards tonight, Mike, have come with him just using his instincts and his eyes. He bounced a big one outside in the 1st quarter. This one was the cutback run.
He was very close to 1,000 for the season. Second and goal, dropped by Dudley at the 1. Shaw was there, but that looked like it was catchable from Jeff George. He'll throw it from any angle, won't he?
He can't, and you know the thing is, not only does he throw it from any angle, he is uncanny about his ability to be accurate with it. He doesn't really, he sets his feet, and then he doesn't take a step forward. He just leans forward. But Ricky Dudley continues to play the ball. Actually, the ball's playing him. If Ricky comes back to the ball, he can make a catch out of it. Here, he's just waiting for it to get to him, and it's hitting his body and winding up on the ground.
3rd and goal. Touchdown, Jet. He beat the rookie Bradford and a strike from Jeff George.
Mike, they came back and ran the same exact play. The play before, he went to the strong side with Ricky Dudley. This time, he goes back to the other side to James Jett. Jet's on Bradford. Bradford takes the inside. This is no contest. Jet really doesn't have to do much. Bradford's just giving him way too much room. You can't play corner from 5 yards deep in the end zone. You can respect his speed, but there's only so far he can go.
The Raiders get their 3rd touchdown. James Jett from George, 9 catches, 58 yards.
Line play is penetration, and that's what Russell Maryland does best. You'll see him come off the ball and explode into Isaac Davis, gaining control of Davis, then using the swim move to get around him. This is well done. Let's take a look at that swim move again, or arm over. Gets the penetration, causes the fumble. That same move, that same penetration is used when you attack field goal block. Here, explodes in, the penetration. Look at the arm go up, blocks the field goal. Right now, Russell Maryland has been the big playmaker for the Raiders so far, Mike.
Jaws, the top pick in the 91 draft, came over from Dallas, and as we said at the beginning of the telecast, he's a guy who plays hard every single play. Bynum to the 28-yard line. Let's go back to Ron Jaworski.
Thanks, Mike. The numbers on Maryland, who has been dominant so far in the game. They have rushed at him 8 times for only 22 yards, 6 tackles, and it's not even halftime. And you look at that. We saw the blocked field goal. We saw the forced fumble. He has been the most dominant defensive player on the game thus far, Mike.
And he's not even one of those big guys anymore. I mean, he was a few years ago, but 290 isn't all that big for a defensive lineman anymore.
Great explosion. Like Randall McDaniel, for example, as an offensive lineman, able to come off the ball. John Randall with the Minnesota Vikings, not a big guy. Great explosion with the lower part of his body.
Chargers special teams hit with a holding call here. 4 penalties on special teams for San Diego tonight. 8 total, and they've lost 70 yards. The mistakes are just killing them. So San Diego has to start at its own 18. 5:08 to go in the half. 21-10 the score for the Raiders. Brown. Stood up by Morton and company.
The San Diego offensive line is really not getting much of a push on that Charger defensive line.
The strength of their ball club. 2nd and 9. Brown on the toss behind Craven. Nice job by Folston, who would not get turned inside.
Number 33, Gary Brown.
Folston out of Northeast Louisiana made his first NFL start last week, getting a chance to play again tonight because Rob Fredrickson, the big outside linebacker, has a heel injury.
And I would say, Mike, that would not be the strength of a Gary Brown trying to take it and run it on a sweep. He's more effective running between the tackles, or as we showed, running behind the tight end and cutting it up the field.
It will be 3rd and 8. Remember, Brown had 181 yards in the first meeting, has 44 so far tonight. Fletcher is in the backfield with Wheelahan. Plenty of time for Wheelahan. Throws over the middle, complete to Martin. Martin to the 33, first down. Gain of 14. Good job by the offense.
I don't care how tall you are.
Back to the ground game for Brown. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 yards to his own 43.
See, I think that's really Gary Brown's strength, running inside the tackles. He's got quick, nifty little feet. Gilbride was the offensive coordinator at the time.
And they were in desperate need of a running back out here. Brown again, cuts it back this time. Smith covers him up. He'll be close to the first down. McLaughlin hit him first. Smith finished it off.
Stop with number 91, that's Chester McLaughlin, along with number 94, Anthony Smith.
It is a first down for the Chargers, and neither team has a timeout. Both burned all 3 in the first quarter.
Yeah, now, to be honest, if I'm the quarterback here, I don't want to rush up here because they'll start the clock. You're going to rush to the line of scrimmage. I think you're trying to rush a play here.
We have reached the 2-minute warning in San Diego where the Raiders lead the Chargers 21-10. About halftime. And a look at the Broncos Chiefs, a big game in the AFC West.
Boy, Lindy and Fonnie's just got to be so proud of that ball club. Fred Winningham, the defensive coordinator of the Oakland Raiders. If he chooses not to come after Wheelahan, I think Wheelahan's going to be comfortable in the pocket and be able to make completions. If he chooses to put pressure on him with 4 or with 5 or more guys, I think Wheelahan's going to be more susceptible to throwing completions.
3 wide receivers set. They'll go on the ground with Brown. Good cutback across midfield to the Raider 49-yard.
Boy, now you really got to hurry up because you have no timeouts. What he'd have to do is, if they can get a first down with this next series, is spike the ball and stop the clock with the next play.
Lynch, along with number 91, Chester McLaughlin.
Straight 4-man rush. Wheelahan with time. He's got the completion to Freddie Jones, the tight end. There's a flag down deep downfield at the 24-yard line.
Flag on the field.
12 men on the field. On the defense, always decline.
You know the only problem with that is you still can't stop it. You still couldn't stop the completion with 12 men on the field. And the Raiders chose to drop back, and it made it easy for Wheelahan.
Well, that was the old rush 4, drop 8 trick.
And now, you know, really that was like a timeout for him.
Here comes the blitz, but they pick it up well, and Wheelahan has this one batted down at the line of scrimmage. The Raiders arguing that it hit one of the Chargers.
We saw the passing lane that was created by the offensive line a few plays.
It's 2nd and 10 for San Diego. Play clock at 2. Wheelahan pump fake. Intercepted by Albert Brooks. Poor throw from Wheelahan, who is slow to get up.
They really don't have a lot of places to go. They have Todd Philcox and Casey Weldon. Philcox joined the club 2 weeks ago. Weldon this week.
Number 29 of the defense. 5 yards. First down.
What a break. Lewis called for a hold. His interception is nullified.
Well, he was the man who was covering Metcalf, who the ball was supposed to go to. So you wonder why Albert was in a position.
Wheelahan draw play to Brown. Breaks 2 tackles. Another one. Brown inside the 10. The clock is running, but we still have 1:08 to go.
Ball carrier number 33.
17 carries, 85 yards in the first half for Brown. That one went for 24. Wheelahan will kill it. With 55 seconds to go, there's a marker down on this one.
This one's going to be offsides against the Raiders.
How can you be offsides on a play when they're trying to kill the clock?
Defense,
Because you're not hustling to the other side of the ball. That has been the problem with the Raiders all year long. What we saw on Gary Brown's run was just a horrible display of tackling.
And Morton is hurt.
With a completion or incompletions for the score.
You could even afford to run it here. Wheelahan, a quick toss incomplete. Intended for Martin. The coverage by Perry Carter.
Mike, with Wheelahan's athletic ability, and he is a good athlete, Kevin Gilbride did this a lot with Mark Brunell down around the goal line. Run some type of play-action.
This team has done very poorly all year long inside the 20. This is the 11th play of this drive, however. Wheelahan dumps it to Brown, falls over his own man. Vaughn Parker, the left tackle, was trying to throw a block and was down on the ground. Brown never saw him and just went right over top. The clock continues to run. 37 seconds to go. One of the Raiders is hurt. That will stop the clock. And it's Eric Turner.
Loss of 3 yards.
So this is a break for San Diego. The clock stops and they can talk over the next play.
This is a quick screen. There's different types of screens. You have the slow screen where the quarterback goes back a long way. Then you have the quick slip screen. So this is all in the Chargers' favor.
3rd and goal. Martin out of the end zone. He beat Terry McDaniel, but McDaniel knows where that end line is.
No, but I'll tell you something. The throw gets up too late. Remember, Wheelahan is only starting his 2nd game. Everything happens so much quicker when the live bullets start flying. He's got to get this ball up quick and in a hurry. He waits too long.
So they will settle for a field goal with Greg Davis. Try the chip shot at 22 yards. He had a 27-yarder block, hit from 45. And he knocks that one through.
Field goal try.
Tony Martin does a good job at the line of scrimmage. What you got to do is you have to freeze the corner.
Squib kick. Taken by one of the up men at the 25-yard line, and that's the linebacker Ron Holmberg. ESPN's college football.
If they choose to do that, they do not. They're just going to kneel down and run the clock out.
The numbers you saw in Jeff George, they do not live up to what he has done the rest of the year, completing over 55% of his passes. But he has his team in the lead. As we get ready to start the second half.
They've done a great job inside here, Mike. The Spanos, Coach Mr. Spanos and son Dean, adding some sky boxes. Made our box a little bit tighter, but it's quaint. We're quaintly standing next to one another.
Desmond Howard drops deep to return the kick.
And Desmond Howard is one of the guys that really signed for a lot of money and just has not been able to produce any touchdowns. His kickoff return is up to almost 25 yards an average, but that doesn't satisfy people. You got to put points on the board.
He also expected to be a wide receiver quite a bit of the time, but he's only caught 2 passes. Howard across the 20. Good return this time. Desmond Howard to the 45-yard line. Aaron Craver made the tackle after a return of 37.
That's what everybody expects from Desmond. He does a good job of getting up in with his blockers. So he only has to make 1 or 2 quick, sharp moves. Then he finds the crease. Then he has a chance to hit it. Does an excellent job of running. He's a more powerful runner than I think people, when they look at him, give him credit for.
Comes into the game averaging 22.8. That is 20th in the NFL. George to throw on first down. Dumps it short for Tim Brown. Take a look at the first half statistics. Neither team really distinguishing himself except for big plays, and we had 9 total big plays over 20 yards.
And the Raiders continue to give up huge chunks of yardage, 233 the first half. And look at the way they've started. First half stats. The Raiders winning the field position battle by almost 20 yards.
George with time too high for Brown, who got one hand on it.
Pass incomplete, intended for number 81, Tim Brown.
Number 95, William Fuller, is a guy that came here with expectations, just has 1 interception, 2 sacks, but been a non-factor tonight. There he is up against Lincoln Kennedy, and he remains that way. Kennedy doing a good job of keeping Fuller away from Jeff George.
Fuller had 13 sacks a year ago. There are his numbers since 1993. Led the NFC last year. In the last 3 years, number 1 in the NFL with 35.5 sacks, but he hasn't gotten many here. George shuffling in the pocket, got it to Dudley, first down, tackled by Harrison.
Well, Ricky Dudley,
6'6", 255.
Ricky, and he's got sweet hands. I mean, they're so, he just reaches out, it's like catching a feather. He gets off the line free. That's the big key. They can't allow him to go run through the secondary because he's fast. He's as fast as most receivers. See how he makes the play. Nice down low. Jeff George just wings this thing out. What a beautiful pass. He catches it nice and soft. Terrific hands.
Came into the game averaging almost 18 yards a catch, 3rd in the league. Raiders on the move again. Kaufman. Nowhere to go that time. Gained maybe a yard. Harrison up from the secondary. Patrick Sapp, Michael Dumas also there.
That particular time, Mike, the Charger defense did a very good job of maintaining their gap control. What it basically means is that each guy has to be responsible for a gap. And as he moves, they have to move with him. They can't be out of position. That's exactly what happened on that play. Everybody's staying where they belong. No real holes to run into. Allow the safeties to come up and fill.
Here comes the blitz. George for Jeff. Bradford intercepts. Bradford with a heck of a play that time. Gets his 2nd interception of his rookie season.
Oh, and this is a sweet one.
The rookie makes a big play to keep the Raiders out of the end zone. It'll be the Chargers' ball when we come back. time in 7 drives they have started it to 20 or worse tonight against the Raiders. Gary Brown. Second effort gets him about 3.
Number 33, Gary Brown, the ball carrier.
Paul Bradford, his last 2 weeks hasn't had it easy. He had to cover Joey Galloway last week. This week he gets James Jett. Doesn't really take the bite inside and runs stride for stride with Jett. Now does a terrific job of getting his head around, locates the ball, and then goes up and makes the play. That's just a very well executed defensive play. Nothing much Jeff could do about that.
2nd and 7. Brown with a quick hit. Breaks 1 tackle. Drags a couple of players with him over the 28-yard line. Trapp and Fredrickson, who's now in there. And Trapp appears to be hurt.
Gain of 6 yards.
Gary Brown must like the way the Raiders defense looks. 181 yards the first time they played. He's got 94 tonight. Kaufman held to 13 the first time by San Diego. He has 59 this evening. 3rd and a yard for the Chargers. Brown tried to swing it outside. The Raiders did a great job. That was Eric Turner, the free safety, who came up and denied him the first down.
And you know, Mike, when your safety is up on the perimeter making a play like that, that means that the guy who's on the end did not allow the ends to make a block. So the interior line did a real good job of giving Gary Brown no place to run.
Bennett, who's had a tough night punting the ball, comes on for his 3rd effort. Howard waits at the 20. Bennett, one of the great strong legs in the league. Oh, a little better this time, but still not his best, and returnable for Howard from the 28. Trying to get to the corner and turns around and is drilled at the 30-yard line. Freddie Jones, the tight end, 260 pounds, nails him. Jeff George and the Oakland offense will have the ball when we come back. And the Raiders offense, even though they have 21 points, they haven't had a rhythm tonight.
They really haven't, Mike, and I think a large part of that is the fact that they haven't been able to establish Napoleon Kaufman in any kind of a running game. They've decided they want to throw the football around tonight. Jeff George has gone back and thrown it an awful lot. I still think starting now what they have to do is start to give the ball to Napoleon Kaufman, give him a chance to get in and control the tempo of this game.
When he has had an opportunity, he's done well. 8 carries, 59 yards. Kaufman slithers up to the 35 this time before William Fuller makes the stop.
Napoleon Kaufman. Tackle by number 95, William Fuller. Gain of 5 yards on the carry.
And that's really a good way to start. You know, you just give the ball. Now you get 2nd down 5. Now you got some options. If you're coming up with 3rd and long all the time, it really limits what you can do offensively and creates problems for both Jeff George and Ray Perkins, the offensive coordinator.
Well, even with the 2 lousy games where he gained 30 yards in the last 2, he still had 9:26 coming into this game. Kaufman on 2nd and 5. Tried to cut it back, but Rodney Harrison was right there.
You know, also, Mike, one of the big questions about Napoleon Kaufman was his size. He's only 5'9", 185 pounds, and somebody said, can you be a featured back? And, of course, Joe Bugle, who's used to having bigger backs, was a little bit reluctant. Bugles has admitted he's still learning the effectiveness of a Kaufman. He carried the ball more than anybody in the history at the University of Washington from the running back position, so he feels like he's proven his durability. Just give him the ball and let him go.
Yeah, he said we played against some pretty big people up there. I never had a problem. 3rd and 4. Play action by George. What a throw. Kaufman. Look at the speed to the 30. Jeff George with a dart to Napoleon Kaufman.
I talked earlier, Mike, that Jeff George's feet very seldom stay planted. He sets and he goes. He goes back here. It's 1, 2, 3, and then a hop. You'll see the hop at the end. There it is. Now he keeps sliding, keeps working, keeps working. Now he gets airborne to make the throw and puts on the brakes. I mean, he can throw from the most awkward positions with such incredible accuracy.
Rodney Harrison with the stop. Kenny Shedd now checks in as a wide receiver to the top of your screen. Coughlin, big hole up the middle. Nearly broke a tackle at the 21.
Michael, you and I watched the films of the first Charger-Raider game. We saw similar opportunities like that, except that there was a Charger in position to make a play. In this case, what the Chargers are doing is they're giving lanes inside. You're going to see some blocks right here and create the running lane where he has a chance to go on up inside. 71 Lesserholm just rides the defensive end down, creates a big hole up inside.
Tim Hall gives Coughlin a breather. George for Williams. He got it at the 2. Harrison was right there, but what a beautifully thrown ball.
Pass away to number 22, Harvey Williams.
We've seen Jeff George have to throw the ball hard. We've seen him throw it on the run. Now this was a case where he just hangs it up and puts some touch on it. The air coming in underneath, lays it out front. Harvey Williams just reaches out to make the play. Does a good job of gaining control too.
First and goal for the Raiders. They already lead it 21-13. 7:58 to go, third quarter. Out of the eye, Harvey Williams is the deep man, 11th to block it. Williams to the 1. Well, the Raiders tonight, Joe, not playing like a team that is 3-7 and out of the playoffs.
Mike, they really haven't all year. It's gotten down to the end of games like the Kansas City game, the Tennessee game, the Jet game, where they've had different things happen that have really kept them from being 6-4. I mean, they're talent-wise, they're above that. And their play has not been a total of 60 minutes. That's been their problem.
From the 1. Williams dives, touchdown. Harvey Williams with the first 3-touchdown game of his career.
Harvey Williams decides he wants to go airborne. Junior's going to fill, but Harvey's going to find the other place to go. Junior comes to Phil. Now Harvey goes where Junior isn't. Goes right over the middle. Good job by the offensive line getting underneath the defensive line and creating a place for him to jump to.
That was at least the second time tonight that the fullback, Chad Lovett, the rookie from Cornell, has thrown a big block on Junior Seau to clear the way for the Raiders running game. 28-13 Raiders. Harvey Williams over the top. The Raiders have extended their lead to 15 over the Chargers here in San Diego. Cole Ford kicks it away. Bynum from the 2. Lowers his head and drives out to the 26-yard line. 6:54 to go, third quarter. San Diego's ball, but they're down by 2 touchdowns.
First half, the Raiders really got after the rookie corner from the Chargers, Paul Bradford. He was playing very soft, giving a big cushion to the wide receivers, and they took advantage of that. As you see him off the ball, a good 10 yards, not impeding the route. Outside technique does not drive the ball. You have to close that separation. Same thing here, playing soft, not impeding the route. Once again, playing soft, allows a free release, the result, a touchdown. But in the second half, the adjustment was made. Bradford gets up in the bump and run, physical position, plays jet tough, makes the interception. I talked to Mike on Saturday. He loves to play that bump and run.
He really enjoys that, doesn't he, Jaws? And he is learning quickly as a rookie corner. Big offensive series for San Diego. Wheelahan, who's 8 out of 16, throws in the flat. Brown steps out of bounds at the 33. Back to Jaws.
Thanks, Mike. You know, in this game so far, they have thrown at Bradford 7 times, but they have only completed 3 of them for 32 yards and a touchdown. He has an interception, a penalty, and, of course, an interference call. But I think for a guy, really, with as limited experiences he is holding up very well to the pressure of being a starter. Mike?
Ron, I think you're absolutely right. He's had a pretty good game. He had a pretty good game last week against Seattle, even though he gave up the winning score. Made a big play before that. 2nd and 4 for the Chargers. Long signal count by Wheelahan, and McLaughlin hit Brown but couldn't wrap him up. And now Brown is swarmed by everyone else. Chester McLaughlin with that explosion got in the backfield, hit Brown. He couldn't make the tackle, but he ruined the timing of it.
Ron Parker, number 70, just cannot get the cutoff. What happens is Chester McLaughlin is going to fire. He can't get down to cut him off. Comes right through the hole. He guesses a lot. He does an awful lot of guessing with the snap count. That time he guessed right. And he gets a lot of help from his friends.
Brown in this half, 4 carries, only 1 yard. Terrell Fletcher comes in on 3rd and now 10. Here comes the blitz. Wheelahan down at the 15, Lorenzo Lynch. The 11-year veteran from Sacramento State gets his first sack of the year.
What's happening to Craig Wheelahan is he is just not seeing the field. He's focusing in one area and not really seeing what's going on the other side. It happened to him on the fumble. Watch this. He never looks down low here. By the time he does, it's too late. He's got to see that coming off the first step so that he can make the play.
Bennett now backed up to the goal line to punt to Howard. Beautiful kick this time. Howard at the 31. Desmond Howard back across the 50-yard line. A return of 20 after a punt of 54. The Raiders in great shape. They have left to play for, of course, home field advantage throughout the playoffs. And with the Packers losing today, that's a very strong possibility. Kaufman on the screen, and the Chargers get a great play out of the rookie, James Burgess. He got through a 3-man blocking screen to make the stop.
If he doesn't make this play, Napoleon Kaufman is still running. Just a terrific job of fighting off the blockers. Number 52. Everybody else is up the field trying to rush. Now he's got 3 guys out in front of him, and Burgess fights through Wisniewski to make the tackle.
He's in there because Lou Bush is out with a hamstring. Kaufman on the toss. Nothing there. Seau with the first hit. NFL Countdown every Sunday at 11. You join us next Sunday night. We have 3:37 to go in the 3rd quarter here. 3rd and 7 Raiders. Here comes Junior on the blitz. George steps up. Flag is down. Tim Brown would have the first down, but we'll check the marker. And it will be against San Diego.
That looks to be one of the face in the hands signals. In either case, they're going to wind up with a first down.
Got 7 yards out of the play.
Illegal hands. Hands to the face. Number 90 of the defense. Cummings decline. First down.
Marco Coleman, the defensive end. He took a lot of heat for his play last year, but he had a pinched nerve in his neck and shoulder. Was really never 100% trying to play through the pain. Lunges to the 35, maybe the 34-yard line. Junior Seau got a piece of him as he went by.
Junior loves to play the middle, Mike, because he has an opportunity to make plays from sideline to sideline. When he played outside backer, he had to chase a lot of stuff. Here he's in the middle. You see him move as Jeff turns. Kaufman starts outside. Sayout just launches himself to make the play.
Missed the season opener after arthroscopic knee surgery. He's been playing with a broken big toe. And the officials have stopped play because the play clock not operating right now.
Tell you, the way these two teams used up their timeouts in the first half, I don't know if it's a real good sign for them not having a visual play clock to look at.
We understand Gary Brown has a sprained right knee and his return is questionable. They literally do not have another running back because Fletcher is the third down guy.
Right, and of course you could always stick Eric Metcalf back in there, which may not be too bad a deal. There's Larry Brown, his first time back in a month. He was suspended for a month. Joe Bugle, the coach of the Raiders, was not happy with his performance in practice, said he'd never, ever thought about suspending a player, but he said he had to do it. Came back with a different attitude than when he left, in hopes that the production will be a lot better than it was to play again.
2nd and 5 for the Raiders. Kaufman trying to turn it outside, pushed out of bounds by Bradford. Stops the clock with 2:25 to go third quarter.
Patrick Sapp did a nice job on that play, the outside linebacker. He managed to keep his right arm free and keep position outside so that Kaufman had to take the wide route and try and go outside of him.
3rd and 3.
Picked up a couple, so it's 3rd and 3. Kaufman with each man in the eye. Here comes the blitz. George unloads to Harvey Williams. Slips a tackle. 10, 5, touchdown. The 4th touchdown of the game for Harvey Williams.
Just another great job by Jeff George. He feels the pressure, but backing up, he knows that he can get somebody free. That time, the Chargers decided to bring more people, hoping that Harvey Williams would stay in and block. He didn't. He free released, and there wasn't anybody out there to cover.
And the only reason Harvey Williams is starting tonight is because Derek Fenner is injured. So he starts at fullback instead of being the 2nd tight end.
Well, I still don't understand the move to the tight end position with Harvey Williams. I hope he's made a case for himself to be back in the backfield.
Well, at 225, he is not your prototypical tight end. Cole Ford knocks through the extra point, and the Raiders extend their lead to 35-13.
Here comes Junior on the blitz. Now, Napoleon Kaufman, we talked about his running ability. Here he is as a blocker. Does a good job, gets down low on Junior. You see the outside backer coming in. Jeff sees everything, manages to get the ball out. When you got that many people coming at you, all you have to do is get the ball out and get it in the hands of the back and let him do the rest. And that's what happened.
When you look at the talent that is available on this Raider offense, I mean, you've got Kaufman, you've got Williams, Jeff George, Tim Brown, James Jett, Kenny Shedd can fly. This is just remarkable. No wonder they score so many points.
And they're really helping everybody out. Tim Brown not just catching the football, but watch him. He's working to try and help his buddy out. He's blocking downfield on Harrison. He's the one that throws the key block to free him up.
Harvey Williams had 1 touchdown this season coming into this game. He's caught 2 and run for 2 more.
Only had 8 receptions too, Mike. I mean, he was like non-existent.
Harrison and Sayout talking it over. They have been shredded for 35 points.
And the reason why Junior is talking to Rodney Harrison, because they weren't coordinated on the blitz as far as who was going to pick up somebody out of the backfield.
Nice kick by Cole Ford. Bynum will return it out of the end zone and cut down just shy of the 20. ESPN presents the Major League Baseball expansion draft.
Around the 20-yard line.
Terrell Fletcher has carried the ball 32 times this year as a running back. Wheelahan dumps it to Jones. Fredrickson wraps him up at the 26. Go back to the play where Gary Brown was injured and see if we can tell you what happened.
There he is trying to take it outside. As he plants, he winds up just getting his leg falling on.
Of course, he is over 800 yards right now and gets $1 million bonus if he reaches 1,000. So certainly we hope he's not seriously injured. Vaughn Parker, the offensive tackle, came out of his stance early. This will cost the Chargers 5.
Right to snap. False start. Number 70. 5 yards. Still second down.
Mike, it looks like every time Craig Wheelahan comes to the line of scrimmage in Kevin Gilbride's offense, he's directing traffic. I don't see him come to the line, get up, start to call something, and make a play. We talked about the rhythm of the Oakland offense not being there. The Chargers have established none whatsoever. He's a traffic cop every time he comes to the line, always looking at the defense.
To the sideline, Albert Lewis nearly had the pick. It was intended for Martin.
Pass incomplete. Intended for number 81, Tony Martin.
Harvey talking to the coaches upstairs said, see, look, I told you, if you just got me in the backfield a little bit, I could do some damage, and he certainly has.
Probably on the phone with his agent.
I don't know whether that would do any good.
No.
Bill Myers, the tight end coach, Ray Perkins, the offensive coordinator. Bill Myers, of course, taking all the credit for the play of Ricky Dudley and his vast improvement as a tight end.
3rd and 8. Here's another blitz. Fletcher. Nice solid tackle by Perry Carter.
Good coordination. That time Wheelahan saw the blitz, made the throw. That's one where the back has got to beat the defender. That time the defender won.
4th down for the Chargers.
San Diego will have to punt it away with only 16 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter, and they're down 35-13.
Desmond Howard is deep for the Raiders.
Howard back at his own 35, and the Raiders, who have enjoyed great field position all night, should get it again. Not a good kick by Bennett. But Howard couldn't get up to it, and it takes a San Diego bounce. 46-yard punt with the roll. That's the end of the 3rd quarter here in San Diego. We have a quarter to play here at Qualcomm Stadium. Bobby Beathard, the general manager of the San Diego Chargers, who did such a great job of building the Washington Redskins, built this team into a Super Bowl club, but it has not been vintage Bobby Beathard in the last couple of years. The talent level on this club has dropped off, only 21-22 since Super Bowl 29, and there are only 14 players from that squad still left on the ball club.
Just 3 years ago.
Napoleon Kaufman on the toss. Napoleon Kaufman on the toss. Good job by the corner. Terrence Shaw has had a fine game.
Number 52, James Burgess.
Napoleon Kaufman has gone over the 1,000-yard mark. He came into the weekend 5th in the AFC in rushing.
Hey, what's really impressive is the 5.1 yard per carry. Like we talked about, he's not the biggest guy. And I think it's real hard for defenses to find him because of his size.
That's 3rd in the NFL. I mean, if you average 4, you're doing a pretty good job. And he's at 5'1". George dumps it off to Kaufman. And he is run out of bounds by James Burgess. And Burgess is going to let Kaufman know he didn't really like the stiff arm in the face all that much.
Stopped by James Burgess.
That's a real good open field pursuit play. James Burgess has played really well tonight. You know, the Chargers were concerned about Paul Bradford having a chance to start for just a second time. Burgess starting tonight for the first time. But both of these guys have held up real well. It's the offense of the Chargers that haven't given their defense much help at all.
3rd and 7 for the Raiders. George with plenty of time. And throws it away, being pursued by Rayleigh Johnson.
Pass incomplete.
It was only the 3rd incompletion in the second half for Jeff George.
Look at that, Mike. They're not even going to have to wash Jeff George's uniform. They're usually you get grass on your rear end a little bit. There's a little bit right there. We saw that, just a little bit up high around the belt. That could be from his hands getting dirty and pulling his pants up a little bit. But look at that, jersey is as clean as a whistle. That's a good job by an offensive line.
They have really stoned the pass rush tonight. Aragos, beautiful kick. Metcalf at the 14. Makes the first couple of guys miss and then ducks down at the 17. Run of 52 yards. There's a timeout here in San Diego. The Raiders running away with it, 35-13. San Diego, California. If the fans don't want to see scenery tonight, they'd like to see some touchdowns as the Raiders are whipping up on the San Diego Chargers, 35-13. Gary Brown out with the injury. Terrell Fletcher, the running back. And he'll get the carry. Trying to get outside. Albert Lewis won't let him. Tonight, the Raiders defense has played well. That means back-to-back games, they have played up to what they should do on paper. Because on paper, these guys are loaded. The front four, all #1 draft choice. So is Fredrickson. The Raiders drafted him. Turner from Baltimore, McDaniel a first-round draft choice. You got that many #1 picks, you ought to be good.
Well, you know, have what, 17 on the team? I mean, that's excuse me, 18. That's an incredible amount of #1s. Al Davis will go get the players. They just have to learn to play together.
Wheelahan throws underneath. Metcalf. Loose football. Raiders have it.
That's just Anthony Smith, number 94, hustling down the field to help out. There's a defensive lineman who, after the ball is completed, turns around and goes back to help make a play. That's all that was pure hustle. Eric Metcalf had no idea he was coming. Good pass. Wheelahan completes it to Eric. Now he starts to make his move against Fredrickson. But watch this. There's number 94. Instead of standing around at the line of scrimmage letting somebody else play football, he decides to go make a play. Doesn't even see him coming.
So the Raiders have a chance to add to their already comfortable lead with 12:47 left. George to throw. Williams already has 4 touchdowns tonight. Patrick Sapp on the coverage. Sapp showing you some speed because Harvey Williams can fly. And Sapp at 260 was right with him.
All former quarterbacks are fast, Mike. Except me. Good thing about that, I never was, so I never had to worry about pulling anything.
Well, you were pretty good. You could run.
Here's a great motivator.
Yes, it is. Kaufman. A couple of quick cuts, gets him down to the 16-yard line.
You know, I would think that the Raiders can look at this game tonight and what they've done on offense as a way to build a blueprint for where they want to go. I mean, it's a bit of a hodgepodge, it looked to me earlier on in the year. They decide they want to just go to the point of attack. Coach Bugel's football team on offense now has a one-back backfield with Napoleon Kaufman that allows him to use his eyes and his quickness to go where he wants. That's a great place to start.
3rd and 5. George again with excellent protection and knocked down at the last moment. There's a flag from deep in the secondary.
Penalty flag on the field.
Shaw made a great play knocking it away. And the official who threw the flag from deep in the secondary did not have much of an angle to make that call.
Pass interference. Number 29 in the defense. First down.
Terrence Shaw thinks he makes a good defensive play. There's Tim Brown. Comes off the line. Shaw's given room. He starts to move. Yep, he does. He grabs his jersey. He just grabs and pulls the jersey. I think if he lays the hand on, he's all right. But when he pulled the jersey, that's what caused the interference.
10th penalty against San Diego. Kaufman down to the 4. I knew there was no contact, but the official saw the jersey pop out and made the correct call.
Number 90, Marco Coleman with the stop.
See, I think you just put so much pressure on defensive backs because after 5 yards, it doesn't seem like you can lay a hand on anybody. And if guys make moves and you reach out and touch them ever so slightly, it's sometimes you get a flag, sometimes you don't. There's no clearly defined way for a defensive back to play defense anymore. I think it's a bad rule, to be honest with you.
Second down from the 4. George for Williams, incomplete. Nice job by Patrick Sapp, knocked it away, and Harvey Williams a little slow to get up as he landed very hard.
The Raiders are getting the matchup they're looking for. They get Harvey Williams one-on-one with Patrick Sapp. You got a back on a backer. Doesn't really sell him inside. Now Sapp, being as inexperienced as he is, never turns around to look for the ball. So Jeff George can basically throw it anywhere he wants and let Harvey make the play.
Career night for Harvey Williams. 2 touchdown receptions. He's run 2 more in. 3rd and goal. George trying to run for it. Harrison got him at the 5. Harrison not only made the tackle, he was close to being able to strip the ball from Jeff George.
A good job by the defensive secondary of the Chargers. The Chargers defense has really played hard all night long. It's their offense that has just not been able to give them any kind of support whatsoever.
Looks like they're trying to stretch a hamstring on Harvey Williams down on the sideline. This will be a 23-yard field goal try from Cole Ford, who has not had a very good year, only 9 out of 15. There's a marker down on this play.
23-yard field goal try is good. The penalty flag on the field.
Going to be against the Chargers. Fredrickson indicating they don't want the penalty.
Well, you know, they're thinking about it. Fredrickson is saying no, but there's a little bit of thought going into this.
Offside. Number 25 of the defense. Penalties decline. The goal's good.
If they took the penalty, it would only make it 4th and goal from the 2, and they'd kick a field goal anyway.
Right.
So they leave the points on the board. It's 38-13 Raiders. A working margin of 25 points with 10 minutes and 38 seconds to go in the ball game. Junior Seau is just gassed. But I tell you what, he'll be back out there in the next series giving it everything that's left.
Oh, yeah, and he and his defensive mates have been out on the field this second half forever.
Too many 3-and-outs from San Diego's offense. Bynum 3 yards deep, and Traver says keep it there. And they do.
Kick down to the end zone for a touchback. 1st and 10 Chargers from the 20.
Wheelahan, a 6th-round draft choice in '95 out of Pacific. And when Bobby Beathard drafted him, he said he liked the tools that he has. He's got the big arm.
You know, I think you have to let him throw a bit now, too. Only 21 attempts in 3/4 of this game. You're down 25 points. Let him learn how to read the defenses. Let him get back and get comfortable in the pocket. and let him start throwing it down the field.
But when they lost Gary Brown to the knee injury, that about eliminated anything else. Rifles this one complete to Metcalf up around the 30-yard line. Crowd wanted a late hit from Fredrickson, but Fredrickson was just trying to make sure the man was down.
Yeah, you know, Fredrickson, we talked about Junior running sideline to sideline. Rob Fredrickson will do the same thing.
Playing with a bad heel.
Only has 1 sack this year.
Gain of 11 yards.
The only Raider linebacker ever picked in the first round by Al Davis. Fletcher on the draw. Forget it. NFL Prime Monday tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern is Mike Tirico, Tom Jackson, and Sterling Sharp preview the Monday night game between the Bills and the Dolphins. We'll have live reports from Pro Player Stadium. Chris Mortensen with the latest NFL news, and Leslie Visser goes backstage with Dolphin linebacker Zach Thomas. Tomorrow night, Prime Monday. 9:24 and counting from Qualcomm Stadium in San Diego. The Raiders working on their 4th win of the year, and they would be tied with the Chargers for last place in the AFC West, and nearly intercepted by Ron Holmberg.
Pass incomplete, intended for number 88.
This one was almost too easy for Holmberg. He reads all the way. Wheelahan's trying to go to Freddie Jones, number 88. Freddie Jones is going to try. He's going to try and come across over here. He's going to go back, and that ball is going to be just absolutely right in his hands. Freddie Jones makes the move. He reads them all. That's too easy.
Well, Holmberg was a wide receiver for 3 years before he was switched to linebacker as a senior. Maybe now we know why they switched him to linebacker.
That's exactly right.
Get out of there. Get out of there.
Wheelahan to Metcalf. Gets up to the 35.
Pass complete to number 21, Eric Metcalf.
Lance Johnstone out there for the tackle.
Now you've just got too many yards to go to try and go for it on 4th down.
All 5 Charger drives this half. 3 and out. That'll get you killed, and it has. And Bennett's had an awful night punting the football. That average is better than he has really done. The 54 lifted everything else up. Very high and short. And out of bounds. 8:25 left from San Diego. The Raiders big over the Chargers. 2 with us tonight here on ESPN's NFL Sunday night coverage, and bringing you the Raiders and the Chargers. Almost 66,000 here tonight. They are going to be, for the most part, very disappointed by the result of this game. 38-13, Oakland with 8:13 to go in the game.
Mike, this is the part of a game where the running backs really start to pound and gain yardage. I know when I played with John Riggins, this is where John would gain a lot. Emmitt Smith, who had a heck of a day today against the Redskins, this is where he would start to build up chunks of yardage and pad those numbers. The offensive line now is just teeing off because the Charger defense has been out there so long.
Napoleon Kaufman, 18 carries, 97 yards tonight. Little stop and go. This will take him over 100 for the night, up to the 45-yard line. He's over 1,000 for the season.
By his own definition, Mike, Napoleon Kaufman calls himself a creator. Here he starts towards the point of attack, and that's where the offensive line has tried to block a hole. But Junior's waiting for him there. So he decides to be creative and go outside. He's a brand new daddy as of Tuesday, so he's seen the last of his sleeping nights, I can tell you that, and he's having a good one tonight.
It's a great move when you see Junior to go somewhere else. Kaufman, another cutback. Rayleigh Johnson can't get him. Bradford can't get him. And he gets to the 49.
Oh, that's pretty.
A lot of Barry Sanders in this young man.
A lot of it. I mean, you know, there's only one Barry Sanders, and we like to compare people like Napoleon, and Warwick Dunn is another one in Tampa with those same types of quick, elusive moves. But when he cuts back here, he's going to make somebody miss effortlessly. It's not like he's really working. Little quick, little slide. You know, you try and reach for him. Ray Lee Johnson doesn't have a chance. With the straight arm on, Bradford now slides, let the defense go by, and picks up a few yards. 5-yard run, spectacular.
He's had 20 carries tonight. Joe Aska has given him a breather. Aska gets his first carry, and he is pounded by Harrison. Rodney Harrison is my kind of young man. I'll tell you what, when he got, all he got from the Chargers was $22,500 as a signing bonus as a 5th-round draft choice. He spent the money for his mother, a big screen TV, a VCR, a refrigerator, a washer and dryer, and central air conditioning for his mom. He couldn't have had more than 10 bucks left for himself.
And Joe Aska got the result of a hard-working, good young man. A little bit of smack in the face.
It will be 3rd and 3. Aska wrapped up in the backfield. They won't get the first down. Ray Lee Johnson, the first guy to hit him. And the Raiders will have to punt with 5:15 to go. Why aren't they smiling?
Because that stuff is dried on their face.
That's a good reason.
They're 4-7. I think that might be another reason. But that stuff just dries after a while. And just, you know, tomorrow at work, people are going to be saying, why aren't you smiling? This stuff dried on my face.
Metcalf back to take the punt at his 10.
I think it'll work with him.
I hope not. Metcalf at the last moment lets it go. Then picked up and down at the 9-yard line for the Chargers. Harrison back there after a 41-yard punt. We'll be back to San Diego. The Raider fans having a good night. The Raiders with the big lead, and they really turned around the rushing stats from the first game when they only had 13 yards tonight, 116. Harvey Williams with 4 touchdowns sets a personal best and ties a team record. And in the 3rd quarter, 142 yards to 4 for San Diego. Quite a performance by the entire Raider team tonight.
Yeah, they really did. I mean, they played what they call Raider football, and they played with a total team effort, really led by Russell Maryland.
He had an outstanding game. Hand from the shotgun. And throws it away. Being pressured by Folston.
Passing complete intended for number 41.
We have 4:30 to go here. SportsCenter. Following our broadcast, we'll give you highlights of all the games in the NFL, the Winston Cup Championship today, and of course an update on the NBA and NHL scores. And then prime time following SportsCenter. Disappointing night for the San Diego Chargers. They still thought they had an outside shot at the playoffs, but this loss will drop them to 4-7. But I think it's going to take 10-6, Joe, to have any kind of hope to get in the playoffs.
I agree with you. I think 10-6. You know, the way it's tightened up today. Great victory by Kansas City today over Denver. Unbelievable kick by Pete Stoyanovich. 54 yards. If it was 54 1/4, I don't know whether it would have made it.
Yeah.
But just a great effort by Richie Gannon, filling in a quarterback. Junior Seau just reflecting on what possibly he could have done to help his team out.
Probably not one more drop of sweat than he gave. Wheelahan from the end zone, and he's sacked. There is a flag down. Russell Maryland got there after Lance Johnstone put the pressure on.
There is a penalty flag on the field.
On the play, quarterback was tackled on the half-yard line.
Now keep in mind, Mike, the score is 38-13. Russell Maryland is a starter. He's been there all day long. He's right there. Watch his effort. Watch this guy's effort. He's still coming off. He's giving Isaac Davis everything he can. They try and block him with Fletcher, and he winds up sacking the quarterback. I mean, this guy here is all pro. All pro.
Absolutely. Just tremendous effort all night long. And now Bennett, with only a 10-yard push, will have to get it out of there in a hurry. Howard with a chance for a return from the 42. Giving ground. That was not Desmond Howard's best. No return after a 41-yard punt.
Tackled by number 27, Michael Swift.
Napoleon Kaufman has either been off the charts or nowhere rushing this year. He's had some great games. He's had some awful games. The worst was against the Chargers with 13 yards. And then the last 2 weeks, he came in and got 30 total. Tonight, he goes back over the 100-yard mark. Feast or famine?
And to a large degree, I think you look at the way the Raiders play, and they really play by the way he dictates the tempo.
Tim Hall is the running back. Sayal brings him down at the 39.
I still think, Mike, you have to be able to run the football, to be able to control the game, and to set up the things you want to do. It keeps you in 3rd and short. It keeps you in convertible 3rd downs. We saw the Chargers in the second half not able to run at all, therefore they create no offense. Jeff George came out, made some plays with his own individual effort, and Napoleon Kaufman gave him a running game in the second half.
Raiders simply working on the clock here with 3:06 to go. Ball again. The young man out of Robert Morris. That rings a bell for us, doesn't it?
Coached by Joe Walton, whose team, I think this week, will be getting ready for a division opportunity. Robert Morris, a non-scholarship school. Had a chance to go see them play this week when we did the Pittsburgh game. Won big then, and Tim Hall is one of their proud alumni.
He was a 6th-round draft choice a year ago.
Good size, 5'11", 215 pounds. Good speed, good hands.
3rd and 3 here for the Raiders. Hall again. Nice cut, got it to the 31. That'll be another 1st down. And more pushing and shoving after the play. And as usual, Wisniewski is right in the middle of it.
And there's a flag down.
Unnecessary roughness. Number 56, the defense. 15 yards, 1st down.
That's Patrick Sapp.
Patrick says, I didn't do anything.
Tough night for Kevin Gilbride.
Kevin, you know, Kevin's a heck of a football coach, and he's I think, got a real good plan for this football team, but it's going to take a while to get the people in place to be able to implement it the way he wants. With Bobby Beathard and he working together, I think the Chargers will be right back as early as next year, competing for an opportunity to get into the playoff.
Couldn't agree with you more, and I think Alex and Dean Spanos would agree with that assessment.
Yeah, but when you go through a lot of transition, it's too close in this league. Everything is so close. When you go to a transition, you'll drop 3-4 games just because you have people out of position.
Hall dives to about the 13-yard line. Junior Seau in on the stop again. We have reached the 2-minute warning here in San Diego. 38-13 Raiders. Berman, Tom Jackson, Stuart Scott with a complete wrap-up of the action in the NFL. It has been a full moon here tonight in San Diego.
And a full plate for that guy. 4 touchdowns.
Williams pulled out the fangs.
4 touchdowns tonight.
Hall just straight ahead. Let's go to Ron Jaworski.
Thanks, Mike. Napoleon Kaufman is having a big night. He's the kind of back that loves being alone in the backfield, reading and improvising. You give him the ball deep in the backfield, he'll make people miss. You see the shot right here? It's exactly what you do. Give it to him deep. Pirella gets penetration, uses quickness, and then speed up the field to make it a positive play. Very evident here, the point of attack. The ball will be delivered to Kaufman deep. He gets away from the point of attack. There's Harrison right in the hole, ready to make a play. There's the quickness, and here comes the speed. This guy loves the speed, loves the quickness. He just wants the ball all alone in the backfield, Mike.
And he has proven, Ron, that he can be an every down back for this ball club. Let's go back to Ron.
Yeah, and the numbers on Napoleon Kaufman at the point of attack, he has not been very good. Just a little over 2 yards per attempt, but doing what he loves to do, and that's improvising over 11 yards per carry when he's on his own. He reminds me a lot of Barry Sanders. When you're down here on the field, you can see that quickness.
And, you know, that's probably the nicest compliment you can pay anybody, because I think Barry Sanders is just the epitome of what a professional football player ought to be.
And you know, the thing is he's a little guy, and now we have some other smaller guys, 5'9" guys that come close to making the kind of cuts that he does.
Hall. Pirella was not going to let him in the end zone.
The handoff to number 45, Tim Hall.
They will not have to run another play.
Kevin Gilbride's offense just couldn't get anything going tonight. Their defense was out on the field way too much. And for Joe Bugle, a sigh of relief. He got a complete effort from every part of his football team.
That's the football game. Final score, the Raiders 38, the Chargers 13.
Our final score, the Raiders 38, the Chargers 13. Coming up next, Sports Center, Dan Patrick and Kenny Mayne. They'll be following all the top stories, including the NFL, the Winston Cup, the NBA, and the NHL. Harvey Williams with a personal best and club-tying 4 touchdowns tonight as the Raiders get their 4th win. For Joe Theismann, Ron Jaworski, and our entire ESPN crew, this is Mike Patrick. Good night from San Diego. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.